The Starseed mission of Guardianship has been ignited. We're going to delve into some things that I went over in a live YouTube stream and get into this core of what I feel is a trajectory, inviting this re-emergence of ancient, of course, my word would be primordial energies, and how we're going to be breaking through more of the false, more of the negative, seeing into patterns and beginning to lift and reveal truths further and further, but also how this combines with powerful cosmic energies in some important times that we have coming up. So let's dive in. There are times that are more powerful than others because we align with specific systems. In doing so, we're catapulting into frequencies and pulling closer in energies that ignite profound changes within all of us. Being starseeds, we are living a more closer connection with these kinds of energies because we're feeling them, the intensity of cosmic events and the collective aspect of what's truly happening below surface level. We're viscerally feeling things at all new levels. And what I have seen when really peering into how things have been moving and shaking in these powerful years that have only intensified. There's so many colliding and swirling energies within our ecosystem, which is building these separations of desires, and some of us very much in this energy of healing and being ignited to protect not only the earth, but all of its living creation. And then obviously we have others that are very much not aware of those energies, but many of us have sacred missions to serve those that are here and unaware of all of these aspects that have kept them anchored and rooted in the falsities that have been created. And so when you have these kinds of energies at play, it obviously builds this dance, which is exhausting. And what I'm seeing is that many of us are getting ignited in very sacred, ancient, the word that I always want to say is these primeval energies that are rising once again because they are organic and origin. They never went away, but pouring goo, black goo on top of these organic, beautiful energies. And we're going through the muck, if you will. I did a live video. Please check that out. The full live stream is called Purification and Progress, rising to the energies of the higher consciousness trajectory that we're on. What that longer video is looking at some of these grander and grander disruptions that will continue to come in. And these disruptions are so very vital. They are so absolutely necessary to begin the next layers of what's going to be happening in this massive paradigm shift of consciousness and awareness, awakening, apocalypse, all those words. And as we know, apocalypse is lifting the veil so that we can see through to the core and true energies. Now, this is the beautiful aspect of the Starseed mission, is that clearly we're all here to assist in our unique and organic ways that are innate to us, that come through us in beautiful ways. Now, what happens, because this is something that I talked about, and this is really the core of this message. What happens when starseeds get too stuck in the minutia? When we talk about politics, when we talk about anything that's related to government systems, it's not just dualistic, it's extreme polarity. Just so happens I have this in front of me. This, now, this was written a long time ago, actually, 2012. I had mentioned in the live stream that I had gone to see him. And, okay, what this serves as a reminder for is these are the extremes. And when starseeds with missions, especially missions that have been ignited in the Christic fire, the Christic beauty of unity, because Christ is unity. Antichrist is separation, constant de-evolution, whereas the other is unity in rising. Now, we often think of the unity aspect as we all have to be working in unison. And while this is true on so many layers and levels, of which I'm going to get into, I have some other videos that I'm creating around what does unity from within actually look like. From even getting into the minerals in our body, we have to think about these aspects in truly vibrational layers. And we often think of them as just these purely spiritual, esoteric aspects, but that isn't true. That is a piece, but honestly, the bigger piece of true union, inner union, is working with our body in different ways than we work with our astral body, which is where all of our emotions reside. And when we get into this core aspect of what unity looks like versus tearing down and destroying, unity through de-evolution, you have unity through evolution. It's not just about humanity coming together and all being kumbaya. It's not that as much as it is what's happening inside of us. It's not only energetic, it's also biochemical, it's also emotional, and there are all of these vibrational layers to it. What I talk about in this past video and why I mentioned this is because if starseeds with missions get pulled into this nonsense, this is my favorite word lately. My two favorite words lately are nonsense and miasma, because there's so much nonsense that's wrapped into all of this if you're in the United States. But it happens everywhere in this world in one way or another. But essentially, we're working with the similar systems. The aspect that I want to touch on is as we're getting ignited in the sacred fire, that is the feeling that I have felt. This is the guardianship aspect. So starseeds with guardian missions. When we get pulled into these extreme, nonsensical, polarized plays, we get taken out of the divinity and sacredness that we actually hold. In this timeline and this trajectory is inviting us to deepen our connection not only with ourselves, but absolutely and most intricately with the earth. Really remembering the weaving and the fabric of creation is, we are the fabric of creation. And I have some profound insights that I've gleaned through my master herbalism studies, melded with flower essence practitioner studies, melded with the certification that I've received, which is a root cause protocol consultant, which is a more modern lens on what we're really dealing with in this world to get to the root cause of our health issues and challenges that we face, because there are things that we are dealing with that no one on this planet has ever had to deal with. This timeline that we are in is challenging us in ways that haven't been written into ancient texts. We are writing the story as we live it, and we are it, and we be it. And so this relevance between deepening our connection and this trajectory that we're on, that I see as truly in the now time, this is the highest trajectory that we can be on. Though I don't like the word highest, the most aligned with divinity and unity and that consciousness, that highest frequency consciousness stream that is really truly a stream of divine love coming back in to this realm. And this is being weaved through the divine feminine that many of us are bringing through our work, through our fierceness, through our bold ways of standing up and looking around and saying, no, that's not right. That's got to go too. Oh, and this? Oh, no, we're not doing this anymore. So through us standing up, through us starseeds who have these missions to call out all of the issues, all of the horribly nonsensical things, if we get wrapped up in things like this, guess what? The mission doesn't unfold. Now we're pulled down into these energies, which, by the way, affect us all. So my desire and hope is that the more that we can lift up and out of that, not getting stuck in this kind of nonsense, then we can hold a stronger force field of purification and protection when we're serving as starseeds with the guardian consciousness, the guardian codes, we could say. And this is truly very much relevant to this aspect of heaven and earth. And we've seen a lot of things that talk about, okay, heaven is some kind of separate place, that earth is some kind of separate place. And then, of course, people have talked about hell as being some kind of separate place. That is not truth, because what we can and what we are actually here to do is anchor that heaven, what we call heaven, which is other realms that are core creation God world realms, back into the earth, because they were severed. This is not the first time ever. This is reconnection. This is why there's what we're really talking about in this trajectory that we're on. It is an absolute reclamation. It is truly reclaiming what was already ours before the parasites came through and broke into the Earth's immune system. Now, we see this happening on every layer unfolding, and I'm going to get into this in some other content, but we are here to serve as the bridges. We're serving as the anchors. We're serving as the purifiers. We're serving as the helpers to be the ones pulling and anchoring. Not only are we anchoring in these higher frequencies, energies into the earth, we are the bridges for those frequencies, and these frequencies are a lot to hold. And what I've gleaned from my own journey and my clients' journeys and piecing puzzle pieces together is that many of us are transmuting on such a profound level that our health can be very much interrupted, or we could say we're taken into very extreme aspects within our own bodies. But this is also due to the fact that whilst doing all of that, what we're also doing is we are serving in some capacity to bring through wisdom that has been hidden. And so in order to bring through information that has been hidden, we must go into the hidden to pull it out. Meaning we see what needs to be purified, what needs to be cleansed, what needs to be purged, what needs to get out of our system. We often have to go through these initiations. And it's these initiations which often can get us not wanting to be in our bodies, meaning we potentially get drowned into working on ascension all of the time, which means we're working on only these upper chakras. Then we have obviously the cosmic gateway. We're always in the cosmos. We're not anchoring into the earth. What we're being asked to do is expand, but also anchor. What you can feel in this is the true tree of life literally coming to life from within those of us that have said, yes, I will do this mission. Yes, I will go and I'm going to serve in this capacity. It's all of these beautiful moments of awareness that come through saying, yes, dear one, you are on the path. It is so challenging, but you are on the path. So just keep going like this, one step, one step, one step. And because we are working in this void, which is from the darkness emanates light. When you feel into that, all of creation begins with darkness. And from that comes light. From that comes all. And so we are writing the stories, if you will, as we take each step through the stream of consciousness that we are choosing to bring through, knowing the highest, most cosmic aspect, and then grounding that energy into this earth, into this planetary being, is what we're being asked to do. And so it's a call to appreciate the beauty and the true divinity and the genuine organic earth energies that is our energy. This is often the thread that gets missed. The web of intelligence, of all of infinite possibilities, wisdom. When you think about the most infinite source of life and creation, we were always designed and always have been designed in that truest form. It is only when you have parasitic aspects that have figured out a way to cut through true creation and that are literally feeding off of that truly divine and sacred nature and taught humanity that it's weak, that it doesn't have power. And then you have dogma from any kind of religious aspect or any kind of dogmatic belief system that has poured over humanity. What you get is this cyclical thing that's not supposed to be cyclical in that way. We'll get into those aspects some other time. There are so many systems collapsing. And the trajectory that we're on, because of what just happened in this game, means that we're going to have time to be creating and being ignited in our missions further, because at least we're going to have a little bit of an umbrella cover, if you will. What happened in this game is actually not the be-all end-all. We are serving in a time that has us believe that it's through disclosure. This is how they're coming in and they're just going to save us all. It'll just be amazing. Or we have this game and then the one on the red side comes in and, oh my God, he's just going to change. It's going to be just amazing. That's not how this goes. The truest form of the story that is being written as we write it, as we live it, is that it's what happens next, or it's what is actually playing through this. Because what we've had is too much bypassing. We've had too much bypassing of what's really happening in the world. We're going to be feeling as all of this is collapsing and crumbling. But what I want to share here is if we feel like these kinds of games are pulling us in, if we feel like we're looking to something else to be like, oh, when this happens, everything's going to be fine and we're going to be saved, then we are playing in to the cyclical nature of what has gotten us where we are today. And so to make the changes that we really need to make, it's going to require disruption. And disruption is not fun. When I jumped out of my corporate life, because it was going to literally kill me, and I got extremely ill as soon as I left, as soon as I hit a brick wall, and I did. And that is another story for another day. But what I was shown is I launched part of my sacred mission and then launched another part of my sacred mission a couple years later after I left corporate, because I was in corporate for 17 years. Now, here's an intriguing component to all of this. Talking about this negative, toxic loop that is created through these kinds of corporate environments. Now, what it required in that time was me to totally disrupt, get up and out and into a new trajectory to be able to regain health, live, bring my actual true purpose that was always there and I was utilizing but in secret. And then 3, be able to gain clarity enough to completely and utterly devote my time to bringing that to life through massive evolutions that will be always continuing. We're in that similar process right now. This timeline is disruption. And this is what you've heard in stories of the old, which is what? Chaos, destruction. And that is what is going to happen to many things. But these are many things that need to fall. What I was taught when I had a dream and a vision to bring Disrupt Now into existence, what it showed me then, and I didn't know the profound reasons for that until much later, disruption is the first step. It's the first step to be able to rise up, because we're focusing on the word up in the word disrupt. And this is how we can get free from stuck energy. This is how we get free from stagnant patterns. And it is about getting unstuck, which empowers us to walk a totally new path. That is what's happening right now. We have just stepped into the ability to really write and walk a new path. And so we're going to see many cursed aspects of this realm fall away. The intricacy of all that, if you want to say black magic, and I like to say low magic or evil magic, is going to not only continue to be exposed, but it's going to start falling and stripping away. Because that is how we get up and out of these old energies that continued to enslave. And this is how we're igniting the new fabric of energies that are coming to life. But the new fabric of energies, as I often talk about, it's really organic, original energies that are rising through the light body of this earth. When that takes place, as this is taking place, it's doing so within us too. It's easy to think that we would be able to soar through this. Everything is awesome all the time. That isn't what a healing journey looks like. And if you've had massive illness in your existence like I have, it's like looping patterns and you're spiraling and you're going over here. And we're in a Herxheimer reaction. And so in my vibrational medicine work, this is a very important thing to look at. You could call it a healing crisis. A Herxheimer reaction is a reaction that occurs that is uncomfortable. It can be very severe. And so it's a heightened reaction, like your body can't detoxify as fast as you're pushing toxins through. So your body goes into a Herxheimer reaction, which means that your body can do all kinds of things. For example, you can get weird skin issues. That's something bubbling up from underneath in the organs. It's not a skin issue. It's usually, for example, a liver issue. And so this is really what's happening now. As all of these energies are being cleansed and purged, we are assisting, especially starseeds that are here with these missions to assist in this healing way. Because often we're going to be healing ourselves in the exact same way that the earth is healing herself. We're all healing in that same energy. And we're going through a Herxheimer reaction right now. And I actually talk about the deeper layers to the energetic process of cleansing the astral body of the earth. The light body is being cleansed. As that happens, it's actually cleansing us too, but we're going to feel it on a physical level. This is a video called Bridget's Restorations and Cleansing of the Subterranean Astral Realms. So this is about the astral realms. There's this parasitic technology that has woven its way into the immune system of the earth, thereby affecting us all. And so as this is being cleansed, and I saw this in vision and in dream time 6 months ago, and we are very much moving into the timeline of the Herxheimer reaction right now. However, as I'm saying that, what we're also seeing is in this timeline that I'm talking about, we're getting into is some prophecy points. I'm just going to mention one because I think it's a really profound, I've talked about it before many times in different videos, but we're talking about the prophecy of the Hopi, the indigenous tribes that saw the truth of what happens when humanity continues to get pulled into what they call the two hearts, which is extremes, massive extremes that rips apart the fabric of the universe. And then what happens on the other timeline, which is the timeline that we have, this trajectory that we're on right now as I'm speaking, into what they call one heart timeline. There was a spiritual elder from Third Mesa Village that had said some time ago, speaking about the sacred rock in northern Arizona. What he said was, when earthquakes, floods, hailstorms, drought, and famine will be the life of every day, the time for the return to the true path, or going the zigzag way, refers to a line, which is the upper line, and it represents the path of two hearts, which means separation, two extremes, that's wreaking havoc on our Mother Earth, humanity, all of living organic creation, and living completely contrary to all of the laws of nature and all of the laws of the universe. Then the lower line is the path of one hearts. This is what I would call the Christic or the Christos consciousness, which is through unity. And in this path, it's about those who choose the unified path, living close to the soil, living in the natural organic world, adhering to what the Hopi say is the true Hopi way. We could also say this is the true pagan way. This is how the true and genuine Celtic Druids and the Druid lineage and monks, and you could just keep stepping back in what we call time to find that the true indigenous beings of this earth, which many of us are to this day, even though we cannot or are not living in that way because we've been taken out of the villages, we've been taken out of the capacity to live in that truly organic way. Even if we're not, our hearts are. And so this lower one heart way, unity way, is rooted in earth-based rhythms, finds peace and connection in life, union with God, union with Creator, union with Source, union with Great Spirit, and union with the earth. It's one heart beating in union. This is the real beauty of the trajectory that we have now to create in. As starseeds with missions, as starseeds holding those missions, serving in a guardian consciousness, we are becoming rooted while also getting more expansive. And what we're going to find is that it's going to be more profound that we begin to truly serve in anchors, getting into our bodies, looking around. What is going on? What is really happening in this world? In this live stream that I just did, which again you can go watch, I talk about the basics of health, getting into our bodies, looking around. What is going on? What is really happening in this world? In the live stream that I just did, I talk about the basics of health, freedom around speech, and we are separated from what sovereignty truly means. So now we're on a reclamation mission to get back to and out of the controlling systems. Not only does it require for us to learn what that even means, this entire education, or maybe we should say we are deprogramming and then relearning that path, but it's also about looking around and seeing, okay, where can we be of service in these larger ways? Now, a larger way, when someone is in trouble next door to you, going and helping. These are little things, yet these little things truly are much more profound than we can ever think possible. And I'm reminded of this often throughout the week because in our region where we live, I go by this certain sign every day. And the sign says, We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. And I think that sums it up. For those of us holding a Starseed mission, serving the greater good, and as we step into this newer timeline, of which again, I go into greater detail in my live stream, we are igniting our true divine humanity once again. We are igniting our true divine humanity once again. Now is a time of igniting inner discernment. Now is a time of clarity, purging and cleansing and getting out of the muck and the goo and the miasma. And we can do it in such little ways, even through intentional, conscious language into everything that we do. It ignites such a beautiful light from within us. I hope that this inspires an awakening of more of your magic. And as our magic rises, that organic, divine love magic rises more and more in this trajectory that we're on, please watch the live stream. I go into all of these details with much more depth. If you are called, subscribe to this channel so that it can grow. Share these videos with the ones that are like-hearted and will resonate with the messages. And I am here to illuminate the path for fellow starseeds, because we're truly serving as pioneers in this massive shift. And together we are remembering original creation magic. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching and supporting.